How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Roblox tutorial. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And more importantly, if you have any issues whatsoever or you have any suggestions for future videos, don't forget to join the official SpooksHD Discord or comment down below. But better yet, join the official SpooksHD Discord. It's the best way to get in direct contact with me and the rest of the community and to easily suggest new ideas for videos and have them possibly become the next video on my channel. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So here we are on an empty base plate, and actually it's been a while since we've been back in Lab Tut. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on admin commands, and if you haven't read the title, that's kind of obvious what we're already working on. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and create a server script, and we're going to get rid of everything in here. We don't really need it. More importantly, we're going to go ahead and name the server just for naming sake. And then we're going to go ahead and insert a module script, and we're going to name this admin commands. So we're going to be doing a module basically, and we're going to go ahead and do local m is equal to a table. And we're going to set up our first event. So set up events. So game.players.playerAdded connect function and then player. So what are we doing here? Well, first of all, we're accessing the player's object, and then every time a player is added, we're going to call this function, and we're going to give the player, we're going to hand the function the player object. So if we go ahead and do, I don't know, player.chatted, connect function, and then enter, and then we're going to put message in R here. So basically what we're saying is, okay, so when the player chats or sends a message to the server, we're going to go ahead and call this function with the message and the recipient. So if R, which means that it's being sent to someone else, we don't want to pick up on that. So we're just going to press, we're going to return and not do anything. And we'll come back to this later. We need to set up a few more things before we get back to that function. So now we're going to set up our services. So we're going to do local dstore is equal to game get service data store service. And what this is, if you don't know what it is, and if you don't know, then you should be going to a previous tutorial link down in the description where you can learn more about data stores. Now we're going to go ahead and set up variables. So m.database is equal to dstore get data store. If I can type, there we go. And then admin commands. And basically this will be for our specific data store for one, and then m.adminList is going to be equal. So basically what this is the list of user IDs used for first time admin use. So basically what we're saying here is, okay, we have an admin list, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy two user IDs I have here. So this is my user ID. This is my profile user ID. You can find it by easily going to your Roblox profile on the website. And -1 is actually kind of a special use case. So when we go ahead and do test players, right, there's going to be two players. The first player has a user ID of -1, and the second player has a user ID of -2. So primarily, most importantly here, is that we want our first player to have admin while testing, so we can use that for later. And then m.command start. Now this is where we're actually going to get into how commands are used. So what users will use to start commands. And then we'll go ahead and set this to exclamation mark for the time being. So that's perfect, all right? So basically what the user would have to type in, let's say they wanted to print something out, right? They would have to do exclamation mark print and then something like hello. So that's how they would have to start out the command to tell the server, hey, this is a command. So we're going to do our database check. So local a list, and then so that's going to be the real admin list. So pcall function. Now if you don't know what a pcall is, basically any code in here, if it errors, it won't. So like let's say we have print hello, right? If an error happened in this, it wouldn't stop hello from printing. So once the code in here finishes or executes, then hello would print out to the console. So it just basically stops any errors from stopping the rest of the script. So now we're going to set a list equal to m.database get async and then admin list. And then once we're done with that, once it finishes, if it errored, that means it doesn't exist. So if not admin list, or a list. Then what we're going to do is m.database set async admin list, and then we're going to go ahead and give it the m.admin list. And that's pretty simple there. So now we're just going to do a list equals m.admin list, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is set up our parse function. So basically, the parse function is going to basically say, okay, this is the command that they want to execute, and these are the different arguments that they're giving us. So we're going to go ahead and do function, if it didn't mess up like that, function m.parse message and then player. And we're going to go back up here really quickly, and we're going to go ahead and call m.parse, then we're going to give the message and then the player. Literally the exact same thing we have down here. So we're going to go ahead and do local player is admin, and we want to go ahead and check if they are an admin. So for AB in pairs, a list do, and you might have seen me use next a list in previous tutorials. You can use either one. This one is a tad bit shorter than the other one, or actually no, it's actually longer than the other one, but most people prefer this, so we're going to stick with a simplified style for this tutorial. So player is admin is equal to b equals player.userid. So basically what this is saying is, okay, we're going to make this true or false if b, the user ID in this list, is equal to the user ID of the player. So let's say it was me, right? Well, in the first list, so the first item would be 514292227, right? And my user ID would be the exact same thing, so it'd be equal to that. But then since we don't stop the loop, it would go to -1 and it would check that it isn't, so it'd set this back to false. So what we need to do is if player is admin, then break. And basically that stops it from looping through all the user IDs because we already found that the player is an admin. So if the player is an admin, then what we're going to go ahead and do is if message sub 11 equal to m.command start, then we know it's a command, that we know that it's started as a command, right? So if hashtag message is equal to 1, then we're going to warn them, and we're just going to warn the server saying, okay, you know what, this is just a command signature, it's just a exclamation mark, right? And by the way, hashtag message basically, so hashtag message here, all it's saying is it's basically this string.length message or message length. It's this one's the longest, this one's the shortest, and this one's the second shortest, or is even shorter, and this is the shortest by far. So if it is, then we're just going to say just command signature, consider inputting a command. Then we're going to do else, basically saying, okay, there's more to the command, so we're going to parse the rest, not praise, parse rest. And then we're going to go ahead and do line is equal to message sub to hashtag message. So I've already explained what hashtag message does, but basically what we're doing here is if we have print hello, right? It's going to get everything but the first character, so the exclamation mark, and it would do that, which is perfect. Then we have local command arguments is equal to nil and syntax or table, not syntax, table. So it's going to be equal to nil in a table, so the command is nil, and then the arguments is going to be equal to a table, and you'll see why. So we're going to do a for loop, and we're only going to have one variable in line gmatch, which basically what gmatch does is it returns a function which every time you call it, it will. So if we have like print hello, right? And let's say the pattern is this, and we're going to be using this pattern. So %w %p plus. So basically what it's looking for is alphanumeric and punctuation. So if we had hello 2 3 like something like this, right? It would separate by spaces or anything that does not match punctuation or numbers, numbers, punctuation, or characters or letters. So basically it would go, okay, print is the first thing we're getting, and then when we when we call this command again, it will get this, it will get hello, or this entire thing right here, which is perfect. It's exactly what we want. So once we do, then we go ahead and create the loop. So we're going to loop through that. And if command is equal to nil, then command is equal to a, which basically means print would be the command there. So if we have print hello, something like that, print would be the command. Else table.insert arguments a end. So basically what we're saying is here, okay, so the command is equal to nil when we first run this. So this will be set. So command is equal to print. And then the first argument is hello dash 223423. So that's what we're doing there. Pretty simple. So now we need to check if the command exists, right? So if m.commands command, then command exists. If I can click on that line, there we go. Command exists. And then else the command does not exist. Pretty simple. So we're going to go ahead and call that command a bit later, but we're going to really quickly create a warn. No command titled ... command ... and then exists, which basically we're just contracting both of these with a variable. So we have our parse function. We're not going to call the commands yet because we haven't set that up. So we need to go ahead and set up our commands. So m.commands is equal to a table, and we're going to get two basic functions. We're going to have add admin, remove admin, and we're just going to have a basic print function. So we could check out the server, right? So we're going to have add admin is equal to function arg caller, and then we're going to have remove admin is equal to function arg caller, which is pretty great, right? So what we're going to go ahead and do is for AB in pairs arg do if to number b, which basically means, okay, if by the way, you can have multiple you can add multiple admins in one command. So basically what we're saying here is okay, so if the first argument can be changed to a number, then that means they're probably which means they're probably it's a user ID that they're sending us, right? So we're going to do print added admin, or actually we'll get rid of that for now, or actually no, we'll keep that. So added admin b, just for clarification, right? Table.insert a list to number b, and then we can go ahead and copy this and just do a list here. That's perfect. So basically what we're doing is we're adding the user ID to our admin list, and then we're going to save it to the data stores. Else local player is equal our local player, we want to go ahead and get their user ID from their name, right? So what we're going to go ahead and do is local user ID is equal to game.players get user ID from name async, and that should be capital N, right? So basically we're going to go ahead and give them B because we want to get the user ID even if they're not in the server. So if user ID, then what we're going to go ahead and do is for DC in pairs a list do if C equals user ID, then table.remove, or actually no, we want to go ahead and table.insert, right? But instead we're going to go ahead and insert our user ID that we are given. So actually we need to get rid of this. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and actually we could just go ahead and copy this, put this here, tab, and then user ID. So it does the exact same thing as up here, but simplifies it a lot more. And then if else, we're just going to say we're going to call a custom warn function here, but we're not going to do that quite yet. So that's everything for add admin. Now what we're going to do is copy this and paste it here, and we're not done yet, don't worry. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to change this to removed admin, and what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go and for DC and pairs a list do if C is equal to to number B, then table.remove a list D break. So let's go ahead and explain what we're doing here. So what we're doing here is basically saying, okay, we're going to loop through our current admin list, and if the user ID is equal to the user ID we were given, then we're going to remove that user ID from the admin list, and then we're going to break because we already removed that user ID, right? No need to continue looping. And then table.insert, we don't actually need this. We could just get rid of this. And there you go. Now we're done with that. So we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it here. But now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to replace this with the user ID. And now we're done. That's our remove admin finished. And let's go ahead and get a print function in there. So print equals function arg color. And we're just going to do for AB in pairs. Whoops. Pairs, not pairs, arg do print B. Okay, there you go. Fairly simple. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go back up here and we're going to go ahead and make it so it calls the actual command. So m.commands command arguments player. So pretty great. So that works really well. And now we're just going to create a custom error function to make some things easier. So set up custom warn function m.warn command issue, and we're just going to call warn. So in command base m.command start .cmd and then issue occurred receipt then space issue. So that's pretty simple. So what we're doing, just a quick overview. Basically, if we're given a user ID, then we can just simply add it. If we're not given just a user ID and we're given a name, then we're going to try to grab the user ID from the name. If we do get a user ID, then we're going to insert it into our admin list. And by the way, this updates real time as well. So same thing here. If we're given a user ID, we're going to find it in our current admin list. If we find it, then we're going to remove it and update the admin list on data stores. And then we're exact same thing. If we're given a name, get the user ID. If we have the user ID, then we can go ahead and remove it as well and then update the admin list on data stores. But we're missing one thing. So basically m.warn, because now we added that, we're going to do we're going to have add admin and then player name. And then we're going to escape this character, right? So escaping makes it so you can use a quote instead of a quote. .b escape again is not a valid player. And now we could just go ahead and copy this and paste it down here and just change this to remove admin. And there we go. Now we're done. We are done with the entire admin commands, which this actually kind of feels great now that we have this done. So now that we have it done, I'm going to go ahead and go over to testing and show you guys what it looks like. So hey guys, before we get into testing, I forgot. So when you have to require a module, you have to finish it off by returning a value. So we need to return m, and then we need to go ahead and go into the server script and require script.admin commands. And yeah, so that's about it. So just click on that, type this in, and then this will require this module script, which makes everything run in here. And then you just need to return m at the bottom. So anyways, I'll see you guys in testing. All right, guys, so welcome back. Welcome to the testing area. As you can see, I've already typed some commands just to check, and you could see that it actually kind of did work. So we're going to clear that output now, and we're going to go ahead and test it. So player one should still have admin. So if we go ahead and do print hello, it'll print out hello on the console down here. Let's go ahead and zoom this in. Here you go. So it should print hello, which is perfect. So if player two tries to do that, let's do hi, it won't print anything. But if we go ahead and do add admin -2, it'll add the admin -2, and then we're just going to go ahead and do print hey. It will go ahead and print hey. And then if we go ahead and remove admin -1, then we'll try to do print wow, so rude. Then it won't print anything out. So that's the basic gist of how this works. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this. I've recorded this probably like 4 times now due to mic issues. But anyways, I want to say thank you guys to all the support that you guys have been giving me. We reached 5,000, not 500,000. It'd be awesome to reach 500,000 one day, but 5,000 is fine for the time being. But thank you guys so much for the support. Please join the Discord. It means a lot to me when you guys do. We're almost at 300 people on the Discord. And more importantly, I have a few projects in the future that I will be doing with other Roblox developers. Maybe Asmo, we'll see. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoy this video, leave a like, comment down below if you have any suggestions or issues, and more importantly, join the SpooksHD official Discord to be able to do those far easier than you would do down in the comments, and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be alerted on new videos. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
She was screaming out, falling at me, falling at me, 'cause you let me.